Chapter 6. Database and DBMS, an Introduction. Objective: Introduction to database. Structure of a database. Database Management System (DBMS). Microsoft Access. Starting MS Access 2019. Creating a blank database. MS Access 2019 interface. Data types. Rules for naming a field. Views of a table. Creating a table. Primary key. Entering data into the table. What is a query? Creating a query. Applying simple criteria in query. Applying multiple criteria in a query. Closing database. Introduction to database. Before starting with Microsoft Access 2019, we will discuss some basic terms related to MS Access 2019. These terms include data, information, database and database management systems (DBMS). Data are the raw facts and figures that are in an unorganized format and are processed to get the required information. When the data is processed, organized, structured and presented in an organized manner, it is termed as information. Example: the data collected from the citizens of a country during census is the raw data that is to be processed. The total population of the country, literacy rate, number of males and females, etc., is the information gathered from that raw data and provided to the users for further processing. Database is a structured set of data that handles the data and information in an organized manner. Basically, it allows the users to insert and access the data and manipulate and update the data whenever there is a requirement. The main responsibility of a DBMS is to maintain all the records of each database, including their security and protection. Uses of database. Some uses of database are given below. Storing information. Databases keep all information in one place, for example, storing names, addresses, and phone numbers of students in a school database. Organizing data. Data is organized in tables, so it's easy to understand and manage. For example, in a grocery store, items can be organized by categories like fruits, vegetables, dairy, etc. Quick searches. Databases let us find information fast by searching. For example, a library database helps you quickly find if a specific book is available. Keeping data safe. Databases help us to protect information so only the right people can access it. For example, banks use databases to keep people's financial information safe. Easy updates. Information in a database can be easily updated when needed. For example, if a student's address changes, it can be updated in the school's database without needing to rewrite everything. Generating reports. Databases can create reports to show information in a clear way. For example, schools can use a database to create report cards for students quickly. Types of database. Following are the types of databases in which the users can store the data according to their requirements. Hierarchical database. Hierarchical database is a type of database that stores the data in the form of records which are interconnected with one another using links. It represents the data in a tree-like structure containing nodes for each record. There is a parent-child relationship between the nodes, that is parent node and child node. A parent node can have multiple child nodes, but each child node has only one parent node. Network database. This database works on many-to-many relationship phenomenon. The data is presented in the form of multiple records or files connected with each other through links. In this type of database, a single element can access multiple data elements, root node also, and can itself be accessed by other elements. This means one file is connected with multiple files and vice versa, and multiple users can access the data at a single period of time. Relational database. It is a type of database that stores the data in the form of tables. These tables are also known as relations in the terms of database. All the tables in a database are interlinked with the help of a relationship between them. Each table contains a number of records that are uniquely identified with the help of primary key and can have multiple columns/fields/attributes in it. With the help of primary key, no duplicate records/tuples can be stored in the tables of a database. Object-oriented database. In this database, the data is represented in the form of objects. This type of database is mostly used by the organizations. It includes less coding and works on the basis of objects stored in the database. These objects are used for processing the data that contains the detailed instructions that is to be processed. It works as a hybrid database using both the technologies of relational and object-oriented structure of a database. The structure of a database includes tables in which the data is stored. All the tables of a database are interconnected with one another so that multiple tables can be used for data retrieval process. With the help of databases, one can create tables, queries, forms and reports and perform operations on the data stored in the tables of a database. The structure of a database contains tables. A table is a collection of rows and columns in which the data is stored. A table consists of column field. A field symbolizes a column in a table. Row/record. A record describes a particular row of a table that includes values of all the columns of a table. Data. It is the actual data that is stored in the rows and columns of a table. Queries. In a database, a query is a type of question asked from the database for getting a relevant data based on the query raised. A query is executed on the basis of a specific criteria. If that criteria is met, a dataset of values are shown on the screen. You can save the query for future references. Forms. A form in a database is similar to an interface where the users can interact with the database and can make changes in it. When a user works on a form of a database, the related tables will also get affected and regular updates are done in the database. Reports. A database report is a result obtained from one or multiple tables based on some queries. These are well-managed reports that can be printed and can be used later for future references. Database Management System, DBMS. Database Management System, DBMS, is a software package that enables the users to create and manage the databases according to the amount of data to be stored and maintained based on the need of the user. The main responsibility of a DBMS is to maintain all the records of each database, including their security and protection. The users can easily create, access, and update the database accordingly and as per their requirements. Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access is a database management tool DBMS developed by a company named as Microsoft. Microsoft Access is a part of Microsoft Office Suite package which also includes MS Word, Mississippi Excel, Mississippi PowerPoint, etc. It combines with relational Microsoft Jet database engine with a graphical user interface and software development tools. MS Access uses the Jet database engine for data storage. MS Access organizes the data and handles databases of any size very efficiently. With the help of MS Access, a user can create tables and manage the data in the rows and columns of the tables. Moreover, one can establish a relationship between two or more tables with the help of common columns or fields of the tables. Any changes made in one table of a database will be reflected in all the connected tables within the same database. This will help in preventing duplicity of data in the tables of a database. With the help of MS Access, one can insert, update, delete, and view the data from the database with the help of forms. You can execute queries to extract relevant dataset of values that can be used in future. The graphical user interface of MS Access has provided all the facilities with which one can transfer the files or convert the data from word processing files, spreadsheets, or database files directly. There are some other database management tools that help in handling large amount of data very easily, such as MySQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL, FileMaker, and many more. Starting MS Access 2019. Follow the steps to open MS Access. 1. Click on Start button. 2. Click on Access. You will see that a welcome screen of MS Access is displayed on the monitor. MS Access 2019 facilitates the users to create a database by using the following two methods. Creating a blank database. Creating a database using templates. Creating a blank database. Following are the steps to create a blank database in MS Access. 1. Click on the blank database from Microsoft Office Access page. 2. Type a name for this new blank database in File Name text box. 3. You can change the file location in MS Access. For this, click on the Browse button, folder icon next to File Name text box. 4. Click on the Create button and your new database will be created. 5. This new created database is a blank database with a table named as Table 1 and menus at the top including different options and commands for working in the database. Tech tip. The default name of database is Database 1, which can be renamed. MS Access 2019 Interface. Below are the components of MS Access 2019 that helps in performing a number of functions while working in MS Access 2019. Quick Access Toolbar. This toolbar is located at the top left corner of the MS Access window and includes the most commonly used commands like undo, redo, save, etc. Title bar. It is the topmost bar of an MS Access window that contains a title and three buttons on the right side of it, that is Minimize, Maximize, and Close button. Tell me what you want to do. In every application of Microsoft Suite, there is a helping assistant that helps the users while working with it. MS Access also has the facility that gives the information related to the queries asked from this assistant. Ribbon. It is the area that includes all the tabs and their analogous options and commands that helps you while working in MS Access. Each and every command under this ribbon is self-explanatory and has its own significance. Work area. It is the main working area where all the operations are performed on the data, such as creating tables, forms, reports, queries, etc. Navigation buttons. These buttons are located at the bottom left corner of the work area. When clicked on these buttons, the cursor is moved in between the records, like from one record to another, or the first or last record of the table in a database. Navigation pane. It is shown on the left side of an MS Access window that displays all the database objects like tables, queries, forms, and reports which are created by the users in MS Access. Object tabs. These are the tabs that are shown right above the work area, indicating that a database object is opened. When you click on this tab, the contents related to that tab will be displayed in the work area. For closing the tab, click on the cross button at the end of each tab shown there. Status bar. It is a bar presented at the bottom of an MS Access window. When you will see on its extreme left part, you will get to know about the view of the database object opened in the work area. On the other hand, the right side shows view buttons, datasheet view, design view, etc. to switch between the views of a table in MS Access. Data types. Each table in MS Access stores the data in it. A data type refers to the type of data that can be stored in a column of the tables. If we try to enter any other type of data in a column that does not match with the data type prescribed for that column, it will generate an error. Data types can be a number, text, currency, dates, time, etc. MS Access assigns a data type depending on the values of the data entered in the tables of a database. The data type of a field represents the format of data, the size limit of a field value, the way a field is used in expressions. Basic data types. Data types used to display short text, short alphanumeric values such as name or address. Number, large number numeric values such as distances. Currency, monetary values. Yes, no, yes and no values contains only one of the two values. Dates, time date and time values. Rich text, text or combinations of text and numbers. Calculated field for calculation. The calculation must refer to the fields in the same table. You would use the expression builder for the calculation. Attachment, attached images, spreadsheet files, documents, charts, supported files to the records in your database. Hyperlink text or combinations of text and numbers used as a hyperlink address. Long text, memo, long blocks of text. For example, detailed product description. Lookup. The data type of a lookup field is either a text or a number as per your choices in the wizard. Lookup fields have an additional set of field properties available on the Lookup tab in the Field Properties pane. OLE object attaches the objects created in another application like MS Word, Mississippi PowerPoint, etc. and store up to 2 GB of data. Setting data type for a field in MS Access. 2019, you can set a data type for a field in two ways. 1. Using the datasheet view. When a new table is created, it is shown in the datasheet view. Click on the Click to Add header of the field and select the desired data type for the field from the drop-down menu. You can change the data type of a field later as well before entering the data in the table. 2. Using the design view. When new fields are added in the table, the text data type is assigned to each field by default. Click on the drop-down arrow of the data type column of the field and choose the desired data type from the drop-down list. Factoid. Calculated fields were first introduced in Access 2010. Rules for naming a field. In MS Access 2019, each table contains unique fields that are different from each other. Every field has its data type and data in it. Following are the rules that should be followed while naming a field in a table. The field name can be up to 64 characters long. It can include any combination of letters, numbers, spaces, and special characters except a period, an exclamation point, an accent grave, and brackets. A field cannot start with leading spaces. Field name cannot have control characters ASSE values 0 to 30. The properties of a field name can be changed using the Field Properties pane of the design view. We should avoid using any special character in the folder name as far as possible. Views of a table. MS Access 2019 provides two different views in which a table can be viewed: a datasheet view. B. Design view. Datasheet view. Datasheet view is a type of view in which the data is displayed in the form of rows and columns of a table. The data is shown as a grid including fields as the columns and records as the rows of a table. When you click on the table name from the navigation pane, the table is opened in the datasheet view. This view is used to enter data in a table. Design view. Design view is another type of view in MS Access 2019 that doesn't show any data of a table. Instead of that, it shows the fields of a table in which the data is stored. It displays the design of a table. There are two sections of the design view, that is Field Grid pane, Field Properties pane. The Field Grid pane includes the name of the fields, their data types, along with the description. On the other hand, the Field Properties pane allows the users to set the properties for the field defined in the tables of a database. Switching between views. There are two ways in MS Access 2019 that allows the users to switch between the two views of a table. They are: click on Home tab and go to Views group. Click on the View option to choose the desired view of a table. Click on the Datasheet View button or Design View button located at the right corner of the status bar to switch between the views of a table in MS Access 2019. Creating a table. In MS Access, you can add a new table to an existing database using two main methods. 1. Using Datasheet View. 2. Using Design View. Creating a table using Datasheet View. Here's how to create a new table in Datasheet View. 1. Go to the Create tab and click on Table in the Tables group. This creates a blank table. 2. Click on the drop-down arrow near the Click to Add header to insert a new field. 3. From the menu, choose a data type, for example text number. The column header will be highlighted, allowing you to name the field. 4. Type a name for the field and press the Tab key to move to the next field. 5. Click on the Save button in the Quick Access toolbar. 6. In the Table Name box, type a name for your table and click OK. Tech tip. MS Access 2019 creates a table automatically when you create a blank database, which can be customized according to the requirements. Creating a table using Design View. To set up a table using Design View. 1. Go to the Create tab, then click on Table Design. 2. In the field name column, type the name of each field, for example student_ID. 3. Press Tab to move to the Data Type column and choose a type from the drop-down list, for example number. 3. Optionally, add descriptions for each field in the description column. 4. Click on the Save button, type a name for your table and press OK. Primary key. In MS Access, a primary key is a special column in a table which uniquely identifies each record row of the table. Remember that there is only one primary key in a table and all other fields of that table are dependent on that primary key column. No two records can have the same value in the primary key field, and it cannot be left blank when the data is entered in a table. Following are the steps to create a primary key in a table. 1. Click on the field that you want as a primary key column. 2. Now go to Design tab and click on the Primary Key button located under Tools group. Another way is to right-click on the field which you want to make as a primary key field. A drop-down list will appear on the screen. 3. Click on the primary key option from the list, and that particular field will be marked as a primary key field in the table. 4. You will notice a small key icon on the left side of the field indicating as the primary key field. 5. The data type for this field is set to number, as MS Access automatically generates a new number with each and every new record in the table. Entering data into the table. To add data, open the table in Datasheet view. Type values into each field, pressing the Tab key to move to the next one. Once you reach the last field, pressing Tab again moves the cursor to the next row to continue entering data. What is a query? The MS Access, a query, is a database object which allows you to fetch a set of records from a table or combination of tables based on a specific criterion. The dataset result obtained against the query is saved in a table named as query table in the database of MS Access for future references. Microsoft Access provides a number of different types of queries that one can use to find the data from the tables. It includes select, action, parameter, append, crosstab, SQL, structured query language, query, delete, etc. In MS Access, a database query can either be a select query or an action query which gets executed in the database. A select query in a database is used to get a set of records from one table or multiple tables. On the other hand, an action query in a database is used to perform an action on a table like inserting or deleting records, updating the data in a table, etc. This means one can search, view or modify the data, modify the structure of a table or access the data in a database of MS Access. The main idea behind executing a query is that it should match the specified condition, otherwise the query will fail to execute. Here is an example of a query used in our day-to-day life. Nowadays, everyone is using internet and almost everything is performed with the help of the internet. When you type any word or phrase in the search text box of Google search engine and click on the search button, you will get a result based on the question asked. Basically, it is the result set returned by the query executed on the database server. Similarly, when you go to an e-commerce website and try to find a commodity of your desire or perform any transaction with your account, then it is an example of query that is executed behind the database. Creating a query. MS Access 2019 allows you to create a query in two ways. A. Query design. B. Query wizard. Follow the steps below for creating a query in Design View. 1. Click on the Create tab and then click on Query Design from Queries group. 2. A Show Table dialog box will be displayed, including the names of tables in the database. Select the desired tables and click on Add button. The selected tables will be inserted in the query window. 3. Double-click on the field to be inserted on which the query is to be applied from the design grid. The second way is to drag that particular field to the design grid and will automatically be added there. Different properties in a design grid. field, it defines the selected field from the table. Table, it refers to the name of the table from where the particular field is selected. Sort, it filters and arranges the data in ascending or descending order. It is an optional property. Show, it defines the property that includes a checkbox signifying that a particular field is to be displayed in the result or not. One can uncheck the checkbox for hiding that specific field. Criteria, it is the basic condition on which the data is to be filtered, and the result will be obtained based on that specific criteria. Or, this property is used to set multiple criteria in a query to get the result set. Applying simple criteria in query. The steps to apply simple criteria in a query for getting the names of the citizens starting with letter A are given below. 1. Drag and drop the identity number and full name fields in the design grid. 2. Select the sort property and then click on ascending option for getting the names in ascending order. 3. Now go to criteria property under full name field and type like A** in the space provided. 4. Click on the Run button under Results group to view the result of the query executed. 5. Click on the Close button to close the query. A message is prompted asking for permission to save the query. 6. Click on the DS button and a Save As dialog box will appear asking a name for the query. Type a suitable name for it and click on the OK button. 7. After saving the query created in the database, it will be shown in the navigation pane. You can double-click on the query's name and can view the result in the datasheet view at any time. Tech tip. To open the Show Table dialog box while creating a relationship, click on the Show Table option from the Design tab under Relationships group. Applying multiple criteria in a query. In MS Access, a multiple criteria or condition is applied on the OR property of the design grid. Here are the steps to apply multiple criteria in a query for retrieving the names of the citizens who are born after January 1, 1995 and are etiqueted. 1. Drag and drop the fields identity number, full name, date of birth from the personal detail table and etiqueted qualification from the educational detail in the design grid. 2. Click on the criteria property under date of birth field and type #1/1/1995 hash in the given space. 3. Now go to the criteria property under educated field and type $yes in the space provided. 4. Select the sort property under date of birth and click on the ascending option. 5. Click on the Run button under Results group to view the result of the query. 6. Right-click on the Query 1 tab and click on Save button to save the query executed. Give a desired name for the query to view the results in Datasheet view in future. Closing database. MS Access provides the users a facility to close the database with the help of the following 3 methods. The first method is to click on the File tab and then click on the Close option from the drop-down list located on the left of the screen. The second method is to click on the Close button situated at the top right corner of the window. A Save As dialog box will be displayed asking to save the tasks performed in MS Access. Click on Yes button to save the changes and No button for not saving the file, and, if you wish to continue with work, click on Cancel button. The third method is to press Alt plus F4 key shortcut from the keyboard to close the database application. A quick review. Database is a structured set of data that handles the data and information in an organized manner. DBMS, Database Management System, is a software package that enables the users to create and manage the databases according to the amount of data to be stored and maintained based on the user's needs. Hierarchical database represents the data in a tree-like structure containing nodes for each record. Relational database stores the data in the form of tables. Object-oriented database works on the principles of object-oriented programming. A table is a collection of rows and columns in which the data is stored. In a database, a query is a type of question asked from the database for getting a relevant data based on the query raised. A form in a database is similar to an interface where the users can interact with the database and can make changes in it. A database report is a result obtained from one or multiple tables based on some queries. MS Access offers a facility to create a blank database or using a template. Datasheet view is a type of view in which the data is displayed in the form of rows and columns of a tables. Design view is a view in MS Access 2019 that doesn't show any data of a tables, and instead of that it shows the fields of a table in which the data is stored. A data type refers to the type of data that is to be stored in the tables of MS Access. In MS Access, a primary key is a special column in a table which uniquely identifies each record row of the tables. MS Access 2019 allows the users to insert or delete a columns field in a table in both of the views Datasheet view and Design view. In MS Access, freezing an area of a datasheet means keeping an area visible while scrolling to another area in the screen. A query is a database object which allows you to fetch a set of records from a table or combination of tables based on a specific criterion. In MS Access, you can create a query through Query Design and Query Wizard by applying simple or multiple criteria on the data of the tables.